guys, and how's it going? This is I'm guessing a mid-70s by the looks of it, snapper riding mower that was donated to us from a subscriber who has access to stuff that goes to a dump, and this was going to the metal recycle pile. Don't know anything about it much more than what you see. It does not roll. You have to lift one of the back tires off the ground to get it to roll. It does have a high and a low range. I know it's upside down. There's a shifter for that. It kind of just floats around. So I would suspect that's why it does not roll, whether it's just something broken linkage wise or it may be worse than that. We're gonna go find out. It's got a twin Briggs on it. I like these engines. They have they run nice, and I don't think they're terribly plagued with problems. The rest of it looks decent. It's not really rotted out. The mower deck is beefy. It's really thick metal. Everything it's made out of is fairly tough. It's not your your Craftsman LT1000. So I don't know, again, why it was thrown out. It could be just something that was sitting around that somebody scrapped and got rid of. It could have a transmission problem, engine problem. Just don't know. But that's why we're here to have some fun with it. See if we can figure it out. Possibly bring it back to life. If we can't bring it back to life, we'll figure out why it was scrapped. So give me a second and get you in a stand. We'll start getting into it and see if we can find out what happened to this thing and whether it'll breathe life again. Well, I guess we'll start with engine stuff and see if it has the capacity to come back, what's in it, and it's low on oil. And it's halfway down. It does not smell like gas. That's a good sign. Let's go see if it turns. It does turn. It's like a shaft drive too. I see a shaft going back to a gearbox. Looks like it's got some critters. And I don't know what our access to the transmission is. Maybe we should maybe we'll just lift it up in the air and take a peek underneath, see what we got to work with. See some kind of like, I don't know if it has an axle that comes out here then drops down by chain or sprockets internally. Is it on both sides? Looks a little different on that side. Maybe it's only this side that drops down and runs an axle. Let's go lift it up in the air and find out. Now we'll start by looking underneath. I would say that belt is about one revolution left before it's no longer a belt. It's got, looks like cable or wire that's in it. And not much on that. And we're gonna be able to see on the back side of it. It's got an axle going across. It must be some kind of differential or something inside here, but I can't see any of the transmission. I don't know if we should look at the engine first or just see what's going on with that shifter. And then this one's the selector for the different gear ratios. The reverse is all the way back. Let's go get this little middle cover off here. We'll access here and see what we can see. Just pretty much the dry shaft, it looks like. I really am curious what it has for a transmission though. We could probably get this whole pan off of the back. Maybe with or without the seat. We gotta disconnect the shifter there. I'm gonna go take a little time and do a little exploring under the wheel wells with the light, see what I can see. It looks like possibly if we get this rear bagger catcher frame out of here, this plate may come off and that might give us some access before we try taking the whole pan off of it. Let's give that a shot. I think we have one bolt left. Sucker's got some weight to it. Ready? Dun-dun-dun. Well, we can see more stuff. Let's go grab a light, take a peek. So it looks like it's using a drive disc. This is the same idea as a snowblower for the most part, and this is going to slide from left to right. That shaft, that plate, we're going to call it, in the back spins, and this is what's driving the wheels. The closer you are to the center, the slower you are, the more you go to the outside, the faster this is going to spin. And that's what that gear selector is over there on the side. It's going to slide it from side to side. And for reverse, just goes the other direction and spins on the other side of the plate for reverse. And then it has a high and a low range, which is separate altogether. I have a feeling that that is going to probably be inside here. It's got to be some kind of gear that you can select, and it's probably just snapped off into one of them. Yeah, it feels like it goes down inside here. So it may have, feels like whatever is moving, it's moving, but it's just no. Not sure. I was hoping for a regular gearbox because I was thinking possibly we could have modded it, done a little bit of a pulley change, and made maybe a romping mower out of it, especially with the high and the low range. But I don't think we're going to have that capacity. Anyway, we can still keep moving forward on it. I say we start looking into the engine. Again, these are nice little setups. Being that it's a horizontal off, also it's going to be used for other things off of lawnmowers like go-karts and mini bikes and that kind of thing. I don't know what the horsepower is, 16. Let's get into that. Let's get that hood out of our way, might be a little easier. I see a couple of tether straps. So if we take the nut off of there, and the hinge looks like it's just kind of sitting into the frame like that. If we can go a little further, maybe we'll just come right out of there. Like somebody already disconnected the wires for the headlight. Let's get these two off, see if the hood will come out of our way. Might have a safety on it for the brake clutch. There you go. Leave that in the locked position. It even has a key in it. Red. Black to black. Let's see if we get anything. All right. Watch it just fire right up. Let's pop the top of the air cleaner off. I should have done that first. Make sure there's no mouse nest going to get sucked down to the carburetor. And we'll pull a wire off and see if it has spark. Pretty clean. That's what I gotta say about the nicest air filter I've seen come off of something that's ratty. Let's go pull a plug wire. Spark checker on it. Yeah, this is not exactly a tight fit. Right. Just hold it. It's got spark. You know what's next, don't you? Let me get rid of this. Come on. Sound like I had compression on both sides too. That's a good sign. Let's see if that choke will open up. Yeah. And we'll get a little bit of that. Alright, we gotta get the exhaust. See how she does. Speak to me. Uh-oh. Yeah, I thought it was going to stay running there for a second. Right, let's see what's in that fuel tank. Sounded good, huh? There's something in there. Go grab a light. She looks pretty clean. It also has a color to it, like it's, how if I show you, huh? It's like a little tinge, maybe a fuel stabilizer or something's in there. Got a bit of green color to it. To have a fuel shut off. I say we prime it again, give it a little bit of choke, see if it stays running. It might even just stay going, and it may have been thrown away for whatever the transmission issue is. Let's give her a little bit of throttle too. Give her about that much. And choke it. That's not the choke. Where's the choke? Where's the choke? It's about halfway. I'll give her another little prime. See if it stays around this time. Yeah, it's definitely got a fuel issue. Rev it up. Well, that has got about the easiest will it run. There is. No complaints on that, huh? We may have to pull the carb. Well, we still may have to pull the carb, but yeah, let it finally suck some fuel up and see if we can do this thing. Let's go look into what's going on with that shifter. Maybe we can get the ass end up in the air on the jack, and we'll let it out in gear and actually see if it moves. Looks like somebody bypassed the seat safety. Let's go fire it up. We'll release it and try to run it through the gears on the other side, see if we can get the tires to spin. Think it'll start up without a prime? So that's the issue, is transmission. You can feel it grinding right there. Yeah, so we got an issue inside the trans, or what there is of a trans, with that gear reduction. Let's get that wheel off. We'll scrape off a bunch of that crap, see what we can see. We got something spinning here. I don't know if that's a brake drum. It looks like it probably is that what that is. Yeah. A band, looks like a band going around. It's a brake up, and so it's spinning that, so it's making it halfway through the transmission. Funny if it's just like a shear key or something. Let's go find out. Pardon the background noise, the exhaust fan is on. I think we can get the one bolt out of the center, and that axle should slide out of there. Looks nice and greasy and wiggly. Come on. I thought it was going to be. It's got some kind of weird sleeve or something on it. It's going. I'm going to work on that because I'm going to run into you. Guys, your belly's in the way. Got to back up a little bit. A little bit of length on that one. Huh? See if we can give it a little persuasion. One of you would put your hand right there. I really appreciate it. Whenever you're ready. I thought they were studs. Alright, now I can see what we're doing a little bit better. I might be able to hammer it from the back now. I think it's just where the bolt was. I think it has a really big burr to it. Too bad we can't draw it in and file that off. Kind of need to get this off to get that cover all the way off, but I don't think we need to completely remove it. Worst case, we might be able to just pull the cover off and let it hang this far back. We can get that off. I'm not sure what this is, a dust cover? I would say that's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, huh? It's like a bearing retainer. What if the axle slipped? That being loose. I'm gonna go take a minute and clean all this crap off of here so we're not introducing a bunch of junk. Get all this off of here. Are the screws going from the other side? Oh, that's gonna suck. Yeah, some are, some aren't. No. I think those are just missing nuts. I don't know yet. The beaver's missing nuts. Beaver, snapper. Close. Or just hit it with your purse. There we go. That's more like it. Now it's time to clean. That's a little better. It's got a fill plug right here. Hope we can be able to see anything from. It's not like we're able to fix it through this hole. Come on, there you go. Get a better idea. I see a sprocket with no chain on it. Let me get you closer. We're going in. Yeah, so there's a sprocket right there. And I'm not quite sure. I don't see one sitting in the bottom of the case yet. I see gears to the left. Well, I do not see any chain, but wasn't that what was spinning out here? Right? I see that chain down there. I apologize if the light's getting me. I would think I would see a big pile of chain down there somewhere. Anyway, we got to open it up. I thought it was going to be the shift selector. I don't know if we could peek back there. Let me get you. Before he slides that gear from side to side. It's not helping you, is it? All right, we got to get that cover off. I don't know if it's a cover if the whole thing comes off, because I see screws from both sides. I have a feeling you're supposed to drop it as one unit. It looks like you take these bolts out, wherever the bolts are going across, and then the whole thing slides across. And then you could split it, because I don't think we're going to be able to get to the back side of that stuff. Yeah, they're like little screws all the way around. We can get that one. We can get that one. I don't know what that. That's a bolt. What do you think? Think we're supposed to take these off and remove the whole thing? Actually, do they go? They have clearance holes around them. That one does. Or do we leave it in place? Yeah, a hell of a time trying to grab all that stuff up top, right? Like, how do you get that one right there? Not easy. I'm gonna go contemplate, but I think that's the way we gotta go. I think we gotta get all these out, but then we have to get it, because it's gonna have to slide out of that axle. So all this crap's gotta come off. I think that could stay however it is. That looks kind of funny. Whatever that bracket or band is right there. Doesn't look right. And I would think if it has to come out, so that means, let's go take this off, this little access plate, take a peek right there real quick. Yeah, just access to a bearing. So you can save that gasket. I'm gonna leave it alone. Definitely looks like it got kind of full of water though. It does not look like it's the bestest of grease. I'd really like to take this whole top pane off, and we may still do that. I just don't right now want to have to go deal with them. They're going to definitely need some heat and some beat. But I think we can get these two out, and there's a plate that comes off. Maybe we pull that pin and we get rid of the seat and get rid of that pan, give us a little bit more elbow room. Actually, I think we just get it with these two. No. And no. I'll make you say yes. Think they're nut and bolt? They're nut and bolt. Well, there's a problem. Let me see if I can grab another half. Huh. I think it's got a... two different levels. It's going to need a little bit of airspace in them. More access. I don't know what that gains us. Going further in. I know some of you are saying, why don't you just look it up and see how it comes apart? Where's the sense of adventure of that, huh? I think what we're going to go for, we're probably going to have to go take this nut off the brake drum. I have a feeling that axle goes right through. I'm not sure how or what is going to want to come apart with it. But definitely these two pieces looks like it's sandwiched together. But I'm going to go take out all the ones that are from this direction, and we'll just see if the thing wiggles a little bit. If it does, we'll continue to chase that. I just do not have the answers yet. I would think that this, we need to split this no matter what, but I don't know if it's going to pull off as a unit, or we have to try to sneak back there if stuff doesn't want to come. Like, how are you going to get to, I mean, everything's accessible, but, you know. What are you going to do about getting every one of those bolts out of there? They're in some of the tight locations. Let's just start taking hardware off. I just took the perimeter ones out that I could see. Let's see if it has any kind of... Moves away a little. Oh, forgot one. Slacker. Won't come apart if you don't take all the bolts out. Well, now. That's looking better, huh? And what are we going to be hung up on? I say the axle is a definite. We got two bolts going through the center of it. I'm not sure if we're supposed to take those out or not. Let's give them a shot, see if they'll even. That's a 9, and that's a 9. I'm not doing it with that socket. Let's try that with a 9/16. The other ones are half. Something just went clunk inside. That was probably, I'm going to guess that was an adjuster. And that one's spinning right across. I bet you that held like an idler sprocket or something on. And this one, I don't know if it goes across or not. I'm going to go pry on it again. Right now it looks like everything is kind of walking around that axle. The top wants to move. I'm gonna go clean this surface up, see what we got to do to get this to slide. Looks like there's a race or something there. Where's your wire wheel? Work on that. Yeah, it's like a race of the bearing. I'm gonna go take my time, go clean that surface up a little better, and see if we can get that. So we can get that to slide out at all. Well, I decided for the ease of filming, and somewhat for the ease of me also, we'll take that top pan off. Or I should have done it in the beginning, but think if we dig our way down, we'll be able to see a little bit better. And we might even be able to split it right where it is. I have a feeling that some of those gear case pieces are gonna want to fight us a little bit. So if we could leave the axles in place, get that outside cover off. Still not sure. We're just gonna, again, just take all the hardware out of it till it falls apart. Yeah, one bolt's putting up a fight, but we'll get it. Yeah, the pry bar didn't help very much. So it is tied mostly on the bottom going across. And I think the idea of how it comes apart, I guess, is just a guess. First, we got to get that nut off that brake drum, but the problem is it spins, so that if that's tight, that's going to be an issue. It might even clear. There is a hole back inside there. That brake drum might just clear right through. But what I think has to happen is, I think this whole assembly has to slide to the side, but the axle is holding it. So I am guessing that if we loosen this collar up, get this collar to slide outward, this axle can slide in. We could unbolt this. This will swing down. And I think on the bottom, it's open. So that once you get this stuff free and over it, the whole assembly can slide right out of the bottom of it, and it'll take the whole thing. That's a guess on my part, but that's the way it's starting to look, because everything up top is free. The other part of it is if we want to try to get a wrench in there and get all these off. I don't know. Because we still have to put it back together yet too, you know, so that's not going to be the easiest of scenarios. And you can possibly get a socket through there. And like that one's getting to that one's almost impossible to get to. You can get to them all, but not easily. Again, we're still not going to find what happens when we go to split this too. That's got to come off. It's holding it together. I think we can move forward trying to see if we could just drop that whole unit out and kind of work on it on the bench. Seems like a pain in the ass. Like it would have been so much easier if they just, noise alert, ran the screws from the other direction. But maybe they did it for a reason. They don't want you to take it apart like that. But that would have been so much easier. Take those screws out and back this cover off. That's probably why the guy looked it up and said, no way, I'm not dealing with that. But again, I don't think he knew that the chain popped off or whatever the issue is. All right, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna get these out. We've got to get this collar. So I'm gonna wire wheel this back, do the same. See if we can get this collar to walk backwards and that axle to slide that way. If that works, then that's the direction we're gonna go. So I took the set screw out of it, but looking at the other side, it has an eccentric to it. And you can see the material is fatter on this side and it gets skinnier. So this goes onto a collar and turns and locks into place. So it looks like they drove it that way. Let's go try it. One way or another, it's got to get loose. Let's go. You would think the opposite of way it would go. I'm going to hit it with a Sharpie. Just see if I can tell if it's turning or not. I'm going to work on that, see if I can get that collar to free up and come back. Gotta get it back pretty far. And that bearing stuck on there too. If I can get this up higher, get that spun around, it might be able to kick over. We're on to something. Right. That looks like it's gonna work for us. I don't know if that's just gonna, that probably is what that bolt was that went through that cover that we would go take out. All right, let's see if we can get the whole assembly slid right off of there. This axle's coming with it. I wish it wouldn't. I guess we're gonna work with what we got to work with, and that's got some weight to it. Holy moly. Yeah, that was easy, huh? Simple. Well guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up on this video for now, and we'll get on the next video and we'll split this case open. We'll see what happened on the inside. And hopefully there's an easier way to reassemble it once we get it apart and cleaned up. There's a better option than what we had to go do to take it apart. This axle is frozen on this bearing. I have a feeling that was probably the idea. It kind of slid over, but that's just so welded itself on there without damaging that bearing. I don't think that's going to happen. But that is for the next video. For now, we're going to go call it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, working on some pretty rusty junk and a little bit of fun. Until the next one, see you soon. Bye. Lily, come here. You say hello. She's getting to be pretty old. Her back legs are barely doing what they need to do. Right, kid? Yeah. She's 15 and a half? Yeah. That's it. She's done saying hi to the people, I guess. Her little cameo. So that explains a few things. I had some parts in the wrong place. So this, I do not ever remember taking that out though. That's supposed to have a bolt in it. And that's why I had so much play in it. And then this fork is supposed to have those two pins in it. Like that. Yeah, she's definitely got little bits of metal in there. That's that kind of color that you see. A little rainbowy metal kind of looking thing. But as I said, I don't think this oil's been changed in 20 years, if ever.